What's going on, Pathways Church? I'm Jake Collins, your middle school pastor, and I'm so excited to join you for this week's Daily Dose. This week, we're answering the question, is the Bible boring? We're saying with confidence that the answer is no. The pages of Scripture are full of a variety of tones, styles, and genres. There really is something for everybody, and it all ultimately points to Jesus and helps us in growing closer to Him. Growing up, I would go to my dad's parents' house a few times a year, and they were always working on a puzzle. If it wasn't a holiday, their nice dining room table became the puzzle table. They would work on it a little at a time, and then they would just leave it until they could come back to it. Every once in a while, they would actually frame one of the puzzles and put it on the wall. Each generation brings a new popular thing that people have to figure out. From Sudoku to Wordle, there are so many challenges that cater to our instinct to want to solve things. This is also why the mystery genre thrives so much. Yes, many of us love the thrill of figuring out the solution, but the journey to find the answer is even more fun and engaging. In its own way, the Bible is full of puzzles. There might not be a solution guide in the back, but there are tons of clues throughout it that help us to arrive at a fuller and more complete understanding of who God is and how He is involved in our lives. There are also examples of things that don't quite make sense on the surface, but challenge us as we read to want to figure them out. In Acts 6, we meet the character Stephen, one of the 7 men chosen to serve in the early days of the church. In verse 8, Luke writes, "Now Stephen, full of grace and power, was performing great signs among the people." Wait, stop for a second. Grace and power. Those don't seem to go together. Maybe someone could have a little bit of each, but how in the world could Stephen have both and in a full way? I don't know about you, but when I read things like this, my brain says, let's figure it out. It's almost like a puzzle that you can make progress on, but you can never quite solve. Of course, with examples like this, the goal is not necessarily to figure it out in a mental sense. The goal is to live it out in a spiritual sense. Figures like Stephen give us goals for which to strive. Each day is an opportunity for us to grow. That's all for today. Join me back here tomorrow for another Daily Dose.